Welcome back. Today I have another ink review video for you. This is a sample, and this one is called Sherwood Green. It's by Diamine, and we're going to just shake this up and give it a try. I have not tested this ink yet, so I'm anxious to see how it looks. And so far it's very nice. It's a very pretty green color. A little bit more on here. Usually Diamine has some very nice ink, so I'm anxious to see how this turns out. Okay. Alright, so this is a very pretty ink, very easy to write with, very smooth on the paper, and very bold color. Very, very pigmented. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside to dry, and I think what I'll do is just stick it under a fan right now so that by the time we're done this should be totally dry. I'll be right back. And we're back. So I'm going to be testing this on 3 types of paper. I've got copy paper here. I didn't see any shimmers in this, so I don't think it has shimmer. And I always test these out on copy paper first because sometimes, you know, if you're at work or at school, maybe all you have available to you is copy paper and you want to know if it's worth putting this ink in your pen for the, you know, for work or school when you're not at home where you can use your fancier papers. This is copy paper. Alright, so we're going to give this a couple minutes to dry, but it does look like there is a little bit of feathering. So if that bothers you, then this probably wouldn't be the best to use on copy paper, but it's a very nice color still. And let's try this on some HP 32. If you haven't used HP 32 before, it's also copy paper, but it's a little bit higher quality. And it has a nice finish on it, so the ink tends to pool on the paper better. And sometimes you get to see some of the nicer effects of the inks on this paper. Alright. Alright, so far, no feathering. I don't see any issues there. Looks like there's some nice shading though. Yeah, there's definitely some nice shading on this. That's really pretty. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and give that time to dry. And then this is Tomo River paper, which is another very nice paper. It's got a nice coating on it, but it's a little bit nicer than the HP 32. And effects that don't show up on other paper will typically show up on this paper. So if there is anything extra in this ink, we might see it on this paper. And I am new to fountain pens and fountain pen inks and, you know, calligraphy inks and all that, so you guys are basically learning right along with me. If you're also new, this is a really fun way to learn about different inks, is just test them out on different papers and see what you end up with. Because sometimes you'll be surprised by the results. I definitely have. Alright, so we got that done. Let's wash this off here. And what I will do is see how that swatch is drying. Because I think this is going to need a couple of minutes, especially here where the ink is really heavy. It does show the shading on here a little bit, so that's good. So as the ink dries, we'll get to see more of the effects. Let me just check on that swatch. I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back, and this is really pretty. So in here you can see there's clearly some kind of like a sheen or shading. The shading is definitely in the writing. It looks really, really nice. And I'm going to compare this to the other ones real quick. So On the copy paper, you can see this is just a nice green. There's not a whole lot of dimension or any shading or anything on the copy paper. On the HP 32, the color is a lot richer. You can see the shading. In fact, I would almost say the shading on the writing is a little more dramatic on this HP 32 than it is on the Tomoe River. But on the Tomoe River, you're getting to see that sheen a little bit more, and it's not really a shiny sheen, but it's definitely there. The color, this is going to be one of those where it's your preference. I mean, it's always going to be your preference anyway, but you know what I'm saying. Whether you prefer this dramatic shading effect or if you prefer the richness of the color in this one. So I think that's really, you know, what it's going to boil down to is how you prefer to see the color. That would help you decide which paper to choose. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I really like this color. This is a really pretty green. Glad I tried that out. And I like how you can see the sheen on that. And then here is the swatch that we made. And this sheen is almost like a purple. It's hard to describe. It's very pretty though. And then you got this lovely shading down here. And in the ribbon area, the little swirls here. Very, very pretty ink. So this is a really good one if you are looking for a nice green that has a little bit of dimension to it. This is a great one. So I'll try to find a link for this and leave it down below for you. And if there are any other colors you'd like to see me review, just let me know in the comments, and I try to respond to everybody. And if I have that color or if I can get it, then we'll do a review. And if you want to see more of these, just like and subscribe to see more. And thank you so much for watching. You have a great day.